And now I would like to welcome my other half,
Yeah.
co-artistic director of the Seacoast Repertory Theater, Brandon James.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, everyone. So in archaeological discoveries of ancient civilizations, we judge the evolution and progress of those societies by the arts and culture that have endured the tests of time and withstood history. Culture is the heart of society. And now, more than ever, that heart needs healing and recovery. The art of storytelling is a shared experience humans have participated in since the earliest days of recorded man. But beyond that, it's our practice in experiencing the human condition. The recording and retelling of human experience is exactly what we do here in this temple of art. We come together to look at a human tale and examine, relate, and gain a deeper understanding of our existence. As frontline arts workers doing the critical work of lifting spirits in the darkest of times, we don't take this responsibility lightly because we understand that this is the duty of the artist, especially in times of greatest strife and suffering. I'm willing to bet that in this last year, more of you have called on the services of arts workers than that of hospital or first responders to aid in the suffering of these last 10 months. We don't point this out to diminish in any way what our frontline healthcare workers have done in these times, but simply to say that art is essential. Arts workers are essential. Organizations like this are essential to our local, national, and global economies, to the cultural heartbeat of our societies and communities, as practice of our humanity, and more importantly, as an antidote to the suffering of our perceived realities.
As we began to develop this season, we saw a common thread emerging that we also saw mirrored in the world around us. In these difficult times, we have seen the community around us struggling with mental health. We have seen friends and family members falling into deep despair over the state of the world, confronting change and challenges previously unknown to this generation. And at the same time, we have seen the arts and performing arts in particular put on the nation's back burner as if art is a lesser priority than other necessities, which we feel completely ignores mental health as a very real, very dangerous struggle in the lives of the citizens of the world.
And so, as the world seems or feels like it's falling apart around us, we as human beings strive for a sense of normalcy. We long for an escape, and in the desert that is the landscape of the year 2020, we long for the oasis that is art and culture and the profound human expression that is the shared experience of live theater. And as we watch our friends and our families, our peers struggle with depression and suicide, we talk to the patrons that have shared in the art that we have offered throughout the pandemic, and we know that theater should never be considered optional or expendable. So furthermore, it is our responsibility as artists to continue to offer that profound, cathartic experience to the public. Throughout history, in times of darkness, it has been the artists that have led the way and spoken truth and ushered in new ways of thinking, keeping the light in humanity's heart alive when it seems like there is only night.
Seacoast Repertory Theater's 2021 season features stories of mental health struggles, stories of growing up and facing adulthood and the real world, finding family, connection, and magic in the darkest of nights. These stories are mirrored by our very real belief in our power as a light in our community, to be the light in the dark and pull up humanity with the uplifting power that only live theater arts can offer. With all of this in mind, we are calling next season 2021 Recover. Not just for the recovery of the theater after the massive financial hit this year has been, but also for the recovery of our emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being as a community and as a species on this planet at this time. In 2021, we will be promoting a message of emotional well-being and partnering with Seacoast organizations that focus on suicide prevention, recovery from addiction, and the mental and emotional well-being of the community.
Thank you. As many of you know, we have been doing shows in rep as of late. That means we have more than one title being offered at one time. This has allowed us to offer more titles to a smaller audience, and in these times, we have found it very important to stay nimble and keep our offerings diverse so that we weren't putting all of our eggs into one basket. This is a lesson we learned very early on in the pandemic. So, throughout the winter and spring, we will be continuing our repertory model. Fitting for a repertory theater. So the second production in our first block of shows of 2021, what we are calling our winter block, is an electric rock musical that perfectly encapsulates our season's theme of mental health and what it means to recover. An unflinching look at a suburban family struggling with the effects of mental illness. We are thrilled to present Next to Normal, running February 4th to March 20th, with a book and lyrics by Brian Yorkie and music by Tom Kitt. It was the winner of 3 2009 Tony Awards, including Best Musical Score and the 2010 Pulitzer Prize, which is rare for a musical. Centering around Diana Goodman, a typical all-American mother suffering from bipolar disorder, Next to Normal is an emotional powerhouse that addresses such issues as grieving a loss, ethics in modern psychiatry, and the underbelly of suburban life. Please welcome Jennifer Rockwell, Jason Faria, and Alyssa Dumas in a performance from Next to Normal.
Yes.